So for the past year, I've been sober, and I've been outspoken about that. I've been very open about sharing my journey in sobriety and in recovery, and I've meant every word I've said this past year. How I felt when I felt it was the truth at the time, and I've been avoiding you guys hard because I'm trying to figure out what's going on in my head, who I am right now, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, whatever, all those things. And there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of confliction. A couple weeks ago, I drank again after a year of sobriety, and it's caused me to pause, because this is familiar territory, the getting sober and the drinking again. And I'm attempting to veer away from just fearful behavior, but also be practical at the same time. My brain's telling me a lot of things, trying to make me feel okay about what's happening. And there's also a big part of me that's setting off flares saying, don't stop, don't pause, stop. One of the reasons I've been avoiding this video is because I didn't want to come on here and apologize. I didn't want to come on here and make excuses or try to justify anything. I don't want to do that. I don't want that dynamic with you guys. I respect you guys so much. I thank you so much for the support you've offered me, and I love that I've been able to support some of you. So I guess more what I wanted to do right now is say that yeah, right now I'm not currently sober, and yeah, right now my mental health hasn't been good. It started to shift on me a couple weeks before my 1-year anniversary. Something about that triggered me hard, and I know from what I've heard in 12-step rooms, that's very much a thing, and I fell victim to it seems. Beyond that, after the 1 year, my depression got bad, and it's remained bad. It seems a little bit better this week than the last, but it's been one of the hardest stretches with depression that I've encountered in a long time, and I find myself being so angry with that and so tired of it, and almost like internally I feel like I'm just throwing a fit with it, because there's always this part of me that holds on to this delusion that at some point, someday, depression won't be a part of my life. And deep down, I know that people like myself who struggle with depression, who have had very severe experiences with clinical depression, I know that I have forever, I will always have a propensity to fall victim to depression, to little bouts of depression, sometimes small, sometimes large. I know dysthymia is a part of my story, and I hate it. And sometimes I get amped up and I get motivated, I get pumped, I get a stable stretch, and I just feel like I can conquer the world and maybe things won't be this way. And then depression finds me again, and I just get floored by it. I just get floored by it, and I can't see out of it again. I can't see behind it anymore. And these little windows of time, they're so powerful that even though I have cultivated a very good state of mind for observing thoughts and not becoming them, it's shocking how uncomfortable you can get so fast, how fleeting mental stability can be for myself and for so many of you I know, and how hopeless you can become. I literally, as I've been struggling with this, I'm having trouble remembering if I ever felt good at all. That's how quickly it hit me. That's how hard I start questioning everything. And then, of course, I can't imagine ever feeling good again. And I know my history has shown me, thank goodness for this channel, I know that's not the case. I understand that I can feel good again, and that this is just, it's just a stretch in time. It's a moment in time. But boy, strong stuff, powerful stuff. And I know alcohol is no treatment for depression, that's for sure. So I'm just in a weird space. I've got my brain telling me, hey, you've grown a lot. You can do this. You can do this. There's no reason, if you don't believe in yourself, that you can't do this in terms of control my drinking. There's the other part of me, this very responsible, mature, educated part of me that knows that that's all a cliche of everyone in my situation who's ever struggled with alcohol. And then there's part of me leaning on things I've read about power of belief. If you believe it, it can be done. If you believe you're a failure or you can't control your drinking, you can't. And so basically just imagine that I'm doing a lot of cat and mouse with that whole thing. and it's very real to me. As silly as it sounds, and I don't feel embarrassed about it because I imagine other people do this too, but is some of it just sounds absurd, but it doesn't seem to matter how absurd it sounds. There's a part of me that's entertaining it very much. So I've had to make my world small, make daily commitments, stuff like that. Seems like just yesterday that I was just rolling along in my sobriety, my recovery. I've had to do a lot of reminding myself that I'm a worthwhile person. I've had to do a lot of positive affirmations because it is my nature in this situation to just beat myself up endlessly. I'm trying not to do that. I also don't know how to make any other content right now. I just don't. I haven't talked to many people about this. In fact, there's a few people like my parents, I know I'm going to have to reach out to them before I post this so that they don't feel blindsided, because they've been very supportive of my recovery. My wife is in a space of observation. She's been here before, but she loves me dangerously, and for right now, she's going to love me and support me and let me feel this thing out, because she wants to have me in her life one way or another, but I do believe she will be prepared to walk away if this escalates. So it's a weird space, because I know that there's just such a big part of me saying, like, well, don't risk it. And then there's this other part of me saying, like, this must be something that needs to happen. So the hope and the goal is to stay safe. The hope and the goal is to continue. I was talking to my drug and alcohol counselor, Karen. I want to continue to have other attitudes and thoughts and ideas come into my mind. So I will continue to see her. I'm working with a doctor, a naturopath named Chris Miletus. I will continue to see him. I'll continue to do my reading in the morning. I'll continue to go to the gym. I'm going to continue everything the same, and then just pray, continue to talk to God, feel like I'm worthy of a relationship with God, because that's one thing that I'm afraid of. It's like, okay, I decided to drink again, or drinking has decided for me, however you want to look at that, and I don't want to feel alone from this relationship I've been building with God, because I like how it feels to have a higher power, and I don't want to lose touch with whatever that is. And I don't want to lose you guys either, but I can't stay sober for you. I can't stay sober for Jess. I've always known that that's between me and my drinking, between me and my God, and there's a disconnect right now, and there's a part of me that, like always, wants to believe that with each passing year, with all the growth I've overcame, I always end up getting this little feeling, at least in moments, that maybe things could be different. And I know that sounds crazy. I'm not stupid. I know that sounds crazy, but it feels so real to me. It feels so real. And the few times that I've drank have been great. I've really enjoyed it. But my history is very clear. I have it on YouTube. It's never the beginning. It's never the early stages of this that seem to be the problem. It's the later stages. It's down the road. Jess was talking to me, and she's like, honey, the last time you started drinking again, the first few months were fine. It was after that it escalated, and it's like, damn, like it's crazy to think, like, I want to believe, because I've been able to affect so much positive change. I've just felt like I've been able to demonstrate so much discipline in so many areas. It's really hard to imagine I can't be disciplined here, but that is the nature of addiction. That's the nature of this whole thing. But there's always that voice in me fighting against it, saying, no, like, I am not different. I can figure this out. Yeah. So I've got 12-step in my ear. I've got other self-help. I'm on the internet straight up researching success stories from people that transitioned out of 12-step into successful drinking lives. Just looking for things to just comfort me and make me feel better about myself. I'm still listening to 12-step podcasts, though, and I'm trying to have a bit of a sense of humor about the whole thing, because I'm an adult. I still have responsibilities to myself and to my family and to my business and all those things. So part of me wants to just laugh about this. The other part of me is fighting the temptation to completely freak out. But I'm finding ways to just keep moving, and the world keeps turning, and a lot of people experience what I'm going through, which is clearly a long history of drinking and getting sober, drinking and getting sober. And God, I want to believe that I can just be a grown-up and be grown up about drinking. And I will be probably so embarrassed if I can't. And you know what? The crazy thing about the way my brain works, which is why I just realized I need to stay forever lost in my actions and in my habits and my schedule, I could wake up tomorrow and be completely ready to just be sober again. I often don't know what to expect from myself. And that's like that part is kind of a scary feeling. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but to feel so assertive about something for so long and then to just feel completely different so fast is it's wow, for lack of better words. It is wow, because it doesn't seem like it would happen that way. I've got another video I want to make. I met with my doctor. I've got my blood work for TRT. I've got my results. I've got my new game plan, but that needed to be separate. If you are sober and it's important to you, stay sober. You, just like me, you will be responsible and accountable for however that goes. And I just pray that I'm careful and I'm gentle, and that I continue to keep the right people in my circle, and in one way or another stay safe as I navigate whatever this chapter is in my life. And I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying not to be too hard on myself, because I have to live with me. It's my responsibility to take care of me and be gentle with me and be kind. So I will continue to do that, and I will let you guys know what comes next. And while I don't feel like I'm in a space where I need to apologize to you, this is not like a show. This is my life. This is my messy, beautiful, good, bad, up, down, left, right life. I do want to sincerely offer some sort of acknowledgement to anyone that's been watching my content, leaning on me for some strength or for some hope in their sobriety journey. Like I said, I meant everything I said this past year, and I may very well be sober tomorrow. So this is just life. This is the way I'm experiencing life, and the way I experience mental health, and the things that I battle with, and the way I justify in my head, and the way I process these things. And it seems there are many versions of me living within me, and it's definitely hard to get on camera and talk about it. It's very, very easy to be on camera when I just know deep down on paper I am doing the right things. It's a very rewarding feeling to get on here and say, hey guys, I'm sober, I'm working recovery, I eat clean, I'm lean, I'm healthy, I'm working hard on my marriage, I read every day, I pray, I meditate, I exercise, I take my vitamins, I work, I'm building a spiritual connection with the universe or whatever. It feels so good to share all those things, because it just makes me so proud of myself. And then there's this other part of me that's like, yeah, I am all those things. I still believe I'm all those things. But for the last month, I've been the guy binge eating Domino's pizza, ice cream, sleeping in, not wanting to get out of bed, not caring about anything, in this little depressive fog. Drinking and just sort of just walking a different path. It's wild, and it's not my favorite thing to tell you. There's obviously guilt inside me, and I can either ignore you guys forever or I can just tell you it is what it is. I don't want to minimize. So if it seems like I am, it must be a defense mechanism inside me who just knows that I still need to sort this out and do my best. This video's already ran longer than I wanted it to. I probably should wrap it up here, but I'll keep you guys posted, and I will try to minimize harm on this channel. I'll try to minimize harm. I thank you guys for being here, and hope you know that I don't need you to fix me. I know a lot of you will feel very strongly about this. I know a lot of you will just basically give me an internet hug and say, hey, thanks for being honest, I got you, and I appreciate it all the same. I just don't want you to think that this isn't a cry for help. This is just where my life is at. I know I'm getting nervous because I'm just repeating myself. So the next video I do, I will feel confident in just sharing with you my TRT blood work, all the new supplements my naturopath doctor has me on to try to support my mental health, and we'll just do a big update because there's some huge changes there. And let's see if we can just still be of use on here. Let's see if I can still use this platform in spite of my depression and in spite of my current stint of drinking. Let's see if I can still, I can still spin this to be of some value in some way, shape, or form. But I'm safe today, I'm okay today, and we'll see you guys in the next video.